Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to lesson number 3 in this Decoding Algebra series of sessions I'm doing on YouTube. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys had a great Sunday. It's very exciting. I'm not sure that studying quadratic equations is going to be as exciting, but koshish karte hain. Let's try and make this as interactive, as meaningful as we possibly can. We know we're on a mission. We know that we need to crack CAT 2021. That's our mission, and that's the mission with which educators like me go live every single day, so that you guys can practice, maybe pick up some basic concepts, ask us questions, and essentially get better along the way, right? Here's a brief look at my profile. I hope that you guys already know me. I'm Anand Venkatesan. I hope you guys have seen a session by me. I'm alumnus of IIM Bangalore. I have also done my engineering before that. I have trained, students for management exams like CAT, GMAT, SNAP, IFT, NMAT. Well, all of these exams for over a decade. I think I understand these exams quite pretty well. Scoring a 99 percentile is still something I do regularly. Last time in 2018 was when I scored 99.55 percentile on the CAT. So, trust me. You can trust my judgment. You can also trust that, the techniques that I teach you will help you not just in getting questions right, but more importantly, it will help you choose questions, kind of have a mental map of the kind of questions you can expect in the exam. Right, here's what we learned today. First part in a two-part series, 2 lectures, this lecture and the next on quadratic equations. Today we're going to do the basics of a quadratic problem, how to solve quadratic equations, how to deal with sum and product of roots, and look at questions around that, which would include forming equations basis some information that has already been provided to us, right? Before we go ahead, I have a quick mission. I should tell you more about the Unacademy app. It's a wonderful app. It's one that I teach on. But if you wanna continue to learn on social media, I think you should follow us. Follow my YouTube our YouTube channel. That's Unacademy CAT4MBA. We also have a Telegram handle by the same name, and Anand for Quant is my channel name, Telegram channel name, because here's where you get to you can view all the sessions that I conduct, whether on Unacademy or on YouTube. Some batches are going live as we speak. 28th of December is when this complete weekday batch goes live. It kicks off, so be sure to check out the Unacademy app for more details. Here's another one. The absolute batch for CAT 2021 again starts on the 28th of December. Wonderful bunch of educators that you can interact with. Remember to use my referral code right at the bottom. You can see in blue and red AV01 as my referral code. The advantage you get is that you'll get 10% off when you subscribe to any of these plus batches, right? Here's another initiative by Unacademy called the Iconic CAT 2021 batch, which it will be mentored by graduates of the very top of B schools. Plenty of advantages, goes without saying. There's a beautiful feature that Unacademy has launched, which is called the Ask a Doubt feature. What you can do is, once you're on the app, you basically click on Ask a Doubt. You take a photograph, from your mobile phone. You take a picture of the question, whether it's on a computer screen or in a book. Make sure that you capture the entire question along with option choices in your image, and highlight, when you're cropping that image, make sure that you include it in entirety and send it across to us, and we'll be sure to get back to you very, very soon with solutions for the same, right? Sounds pretty exciting, right? Well, to access all of this, right, the plus batches as well as Ask a Doubt feature, all you need to do is subscribe, to one of these plans. The ones that I've highlighted are the ones that I would really recommend you take on, because you get the full advantage of the myriad educators on the platform, right? And not only that, you get a 10% discount by using my referral code AV01, right? So get cracking today. All right, on to today's agenda, right? 4 very, very simple things we'll learn about quadratic equations. In fact, I'm sure most of you already know this. So we'll quickly sort of recap these nitbits about quadratic equations. Welcome to all my live viewers. We'll learn about solving quadratic equations, dealing with sum and product of roots, dealing with how to form equations, and then we'll solve a variety of problems on these concepts. Right, how to solve a quadratic equation. I hope all of you remember that a quadratic equation looks like this: ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. You know, single variable x, a, b, c are constants, right? And if I want to factorize and solve this quadratic equation for its roots, the first method we can use is called the split the middle term method, something that you must have learned at school, right? The sense of it is that you try and break the middle term bx, right? The coefficient b can be broken down into two parts, p and q, right? The constraints are that you will choose two values p and q such that the sum of p and q is b. Obviously p and q can also be positive or negative, right? But their product should also be equal to the product of the first and the last terms, a into c, right? So you want two values whose sum is b and whose product is ac, right? Let's take an example. Supposing I have 3x square plus 7x minus 6, right? So you want two numbers p and q such that their sum is equal to b, that's 7, and their product pq should be equal to 3 into minus 6, right? Remember that's minus 18, right? Should tell you that if the product is negative, one is positive, the other one must be negative, right? But the fact that their sum is 7, a positive value, means the bigger number should be positive, the smaller value should be negative, right? And you can immediately see what numbers we can consider. 9 and minus 2 give me a product of minus 18, and 9 minus 2 give me 7. So let's go ahead and solve it. How do you do that? 3x square, split the 7x into these two terms, plus 9x minus 2x minus 6, and then, you know, take common as appropriate. Here I can take first two terms 3x as common, I'll get x plus 3. Second two terms I'll take minus 2 as common, again get x plus 3. And now x plus 3 comes out to be common, which means x plus 3 into 3x minus 2 equals 0, which tells me that the roots are either x equal to minus 3 or x equals to 2 by 3, right? Minus 3 or 2 by 3 are the roots. I can see split the middle roots does that job for me in a jiffy, right? Okay, well, it's good to know split the middle term, but it's not always useful. Sometimes you might not factorize, sometimes it might not be apparent to you. So the next sort of shastra or weapon you want in your arsenal is the discriminant method. You know, start with, for a quadratic equation, start with calculating the discriminant. Very, very important. Multiple things you can use a determinant, but here we're going to use discriminant to calculate the roots. So d as b square minus 4ac, first determine that. Then you can directly calculate the roots as minus b minus root d by 2a and minus b plus root d by 2a. Remember, you know, a, b and c are the coefficients, right? So minus b plus minus square root of the discriminant divided by 2 times the coefficient of x square, right? That's going to be the discriminant method. We can quickly see and test whether you get the same roots here. What is the discriminant for this? B square 49 minus 4 into 3 into minus 6, that's okay. That's 49 plus 12 6 are 72. That gives me 121, which means the square root of d will be 11. So the roots will be alpha and beta. Alpha will be minus 7 minus root d upon 2a, that's 2 into 3 6, and minus 7 plus root d upon 2a, that's also 6. So 11 plus 7 18, 18 by 6 will be minus 3, 11 minus 7 is 4, 4 by 6 will be 2 by 3. So there you go, same roots but using the discriminant approach, right? Okay, this one was, I mean, we had to get it out of the way. Next up, quick sort of recap of how do you deal with sum and product of roots, right? If you have a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equals 0, then it's sum of roots. Without factorizing, without solving the equation, I can get sum of roots as minus b by a, product of roots as c by a, right? Fairly obvious, right? How do I form equations, right? If I'm given an equation, I can derive the sum and product of roots. The opposite would be where I want to make the equation where I'm given the sum and product of roots. Well, not always the case. If indeed I'm given the roots themselves as alpha and beta, supposing I say the roots are 2 and 3, right? So then you'll surmise that x minus 2 and x minus 3 are factors, so the quadratic should be x minus 2 into x minus 3, right? Just as in general terms, if alpha and beta are the roots, x minus alpha into x minus beta would be the quadratic equation that you want. Yeah, okay. But if indeed in a problem you can't get the roots, but you can derive the sum and their product, right? Let's say you know alpha and beta are the roots, but you can't calculate their values. What you can calculate is alpha and beta, alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. That's the sum of roots and product of roots. If you can get S and P, then the equation will be x square minus sx plus p equals 0, right? You can see that highlighted in bold over here, right? Okay, well, those are the basic concepts on quadratic equations. Let us try some questions out. Remember, every single question we're going to try and do this in under 2 minutes, right? That's going to be the target. In fact, quadratic equations, first part, you probably should back yourself to get all of these done in a minute each. Okay, starting with this one. Factorize this. I mean, it surely will not be a direct question in the exam. I want P and Q, their sum to be B, which is minus 5, but the product to be 63 into minus 63 into 2 is minus 126, right? So 14 into 9 is minus 126. So I'm going to say minus 14 and plus 9, because then the sum of minus 14 and plus 9 would be indeed minus 5, right? So 2x square minus 14x plus 9x minus 63, and 2x common, x minus 7, 9 common, also x minus 7, which means x minus 7 into 2x plus 9 tells me that the two roots are going to be x equals 7 or x equals minus 9 by 2, right? No brainer, right? ये सब question तो exam में हो ही जाएगा, इसका tension नहीं है. Okay, how about this one? Given x plus y equals 7 and x plus 5 by y equals 3, how do you calculate x? Possible values of x. Is that 1? Is that 2 values? Determine those values, right? You want x, which means you want to eliminate y. I'll substitute y as 7 minus x into the other equation, x plus 5 by y equals 3, right? Which translates into x plus 5 upon 7 minus x equals 3. Take an LCM and then cross multiply. You'll get 7x minus x square plus 5 would be 3 times 7 minus x. That's 21 minus 3x. Put it all together into a quadratic. What do I get? Right? Let's take everything to the right hand side. 0 equals x square minus 3 minus 7. That's minus 10x. 21 minus 5 is plus 16. Right? 8 into 2 is 16. Product. And 8 plus 2 is 10, but not plus 8 and plus 2, it will be minus 8 and minus 2x, right? Plus 16 equals 0, right? Now, I hope if you are good at it, you can directly see that it's going to be x minus 8 into x minus 2, which means the two values of x that satisfy are 2 and 8. That should suffice. Corresponding values of y would be, 7 minus x. So 7 minus 2, 5. Or 7 minus 8 minus 1. There you go. Right? X plus y in both cases is 7. X plus 5 by y in both cases will be 3. Alright, here's another question. Right? Now I'm going to give you a minute to quickly try this yourself, guys. Watching me live. Why don't you quickly try your hand at this one. See if you can get a quick answer. 1 minute. Let's go for it now. Yeah, do give me a shout in the chat if you have any comments, if you think this question should be left. Yeah, any I think it's more of a procedural problem, right? Process more than, I think, difficulty. Squaring it, right? First step, obviously square it. 3 minus 2x, and think of this as a plus b whole square. So a square 2x, b square 1 square 1, and 2ab will be 2 into 1 into root 2x. Okay? What do I get? Right? Bring everything to the other side, right? So 3 minus 1, 2. Minus 4x equals, so 2, right, 2 root 2x, right? I can simplify with 2, right? 1 minus 2x equal to this. Squaring it again, what happens? 1 minus 2x the whole square. 1 plus 4x square minus 2 into 1 into 2x, that's minus 4x, and this will become, squaring, it will become 2x, right? So what does it give me? 4x square minus 6x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, but instead of solving this quadratic, right, I can try out, right? X is equal to 1 doesn't work out. X equal to 4 also doesn't work out. In fact, it's probably going to be in terms of x, which means directly calculate 4x square, right? That will be 6x minus 1. Do I have that in the option choices? Yes, I do. Option E is the correct choice, right? Yeah, like a trick question, right? You got to a quadratic, but you didn't need to solve that quadratic. होता है ऐसा कभी-कभी. All right, one based on sum of roots and product of roots. Look at this. L and M are roots of this quadratic equation. I'm very tempted to factorize the quadratic equation as well. I'll directly get L and M. That's one way of going about it, right? But what about solving it without, getting the value without solving the equation, right? Can I get L and M without calculating L and M? Can I get L square plus M square, right? So I'll show you both ways, right? Direct way would be you want L square plus M square, right? And this should give you a hint. This would be L plus M the whole square minus 2LM. A plus B whole square minus 2AB will be A square plus B square. Why is this useful? Because L plus M will be sum of roots. Sum of roots of this equation will be minus B by A. That's minus 5. So minus 5 whole square. Minus 2 times the product of roots, right? Product of roots will be C upon A. That's minus 14 upon 1. What do I get? 25 plus 28. Lo and behold, 53, right? Very quick, right? I mean, I don't think I should be factorizing it because this is fast. If I did decide to factorize, where would that get me? Okay, x square, I know product is minus 14, 7 into 2 plus 7 into minus 2, right? Product is negative, sum is positive. X square plus 7x minus 2x minus 14 equals 0. X plus 7 into x minus 2 equals 0, which means the roots are minus 7 and plus 2. I don't know which is which, but L square plus M square, sum of squares will be 7 square 49, 2 square 4. Does give me the same answer, 53, right? But it's a waste of my time, right? Why invest so much time in calculating the roots if I can do without it? Okay, very, very simple problem so far. How about this one, right? Maybe I give you a minute. Maybe I give you a minute for you guys to try this yourself. Ping me in the chat. What's the difference of roots? One root is the reciprocal of the other. Find the difference of these roots. Remember, one root is the reciprocal of the other. What you're given, I hope you understand that if alpha and beta are the roots, what we are given is alpha is 1 by beta, and the question asks me for alpha minus beta, right? For this quadratic equation. Yeah, you think this will work out? Come on, guys, give me a shout in the chat. Simple question, yaar, 30 seconds. एक्साइटमेंट तो मुझसे भी नहीं रहा जा रहा. And in fact, I could probably ask you a couple of in-between questions also, right? What is K, for example? Can I calculate K? Okay, Kushal says 3 by 2. टेस्ट नेट में आ गया सर. वंडरफुल मैन. रोकी हो जाएगा ना? वंडरफुल. रोकी बोल रहा है नहीं, माइनस 5/2 होना चाहिए. लेट्स चेक इट आउट. यहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स क्या आएगा? डायरेक्टली इसको क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. अल्फा इंटू बीटा बिकम्स 1, है ना? तो मतलब प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स 1 है. क्वाड्रेटिक में प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स क्या होता है? C by A, मतलब K/2 इज 1, मतलब K इज 1, K इज 2, राइट? जरूरत नहीं थी बट K निकल गया. ओके, निकालना क्या है? अल्फा माइनस बीटा. अब ये दो तरीके से निकाल सकते हैं. अगेन, या तो इसको फैक्टराइज कर लो. 2x स्क्वायर प्लस 5x प्लस 2 इक्वल 0. इसको फैक्टराइज करके अल्फा और बीटा निकाल लें और डिफरेंस निकाल लें, राइट? या अल्फा माइनस बीटा को लिखो स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ इट्स स्क्वायर, and then alpha minus beta whole square can be written as alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta, right? अब मैं आप लोगों पे छोड़ता हूं which of these two approaches you prefer. Do you want to factorize it? It's not very hard to factorize, right? Very, very simple equation to factorize. This becomes 2x square plus 4x plus x plus 2, है ना? तो मतलब x plus 2 into 2x plus 1 आ जाएगा. तो मतलब रूट्स क्या है? अल्फा हो गया -2, बीटा हो गया -1/2. तो डिफरेंस ऑफ रूट्स हो जाएंगे -2 minus half, right? Which means it's either, if it's the positive difference, the question should have said positive difference, then I'll say इन दोनों का डिफरेंस आ रहा है -4 plus 1 is -3. So -3/2 आ रहा है, we'll probably report 3/2. Yeah? Okay, that's not very hard. But if I use the sum of roots वाला approach, sum of roots क्या है इसमें? -5/2, तो उसको स्क्वायर करेंगे 25/4 आ जाएगा, -4 times product of roots which is 1, so -4. 24 minus 16 is 9. 9/4 आएगा, उसका स्क्वायर रूट होता है 3/2. So there you go, same answer. Yeah, good answer, Kushal. Nice answer. Here's the next question. इसको तो चैलेंजिंग बोलना भी शायद गलत होगा. बताए फटाक से आंसर निकाल दो यार. राइट, इतना सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, इस पर टाइम नहीं लगना चाहिए. इक्वेशन दिया हुआ है, एक रूट दिया हुआ है, वन रूट इज 1.5. फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ m. Okay, Kushal is saying you thought positive roots. What do you mean? 3/2 तो है आंसर. Okay, one of the roots of this quadratic equation is 1.5. Find the other root. No, find the value of m. दूसरा रूट निकल जाएगा क्या? सोचो. राइट, अब आप क्वाड्रेटिक देखोगे तो आपको दिख रहा है a पता है, b नहीं पता, c पता है. तो c और a से क्या निकलता है? प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स, वो होता है c/a. मतलब एक रूट पता है 1.5 इंटू अदर रूट बीटा विल बी c/a. इस केस में 24/1. सो बीटा आ जाएगा ना, 24 डिवाइडेड बाय 1.5 मतलब डिवाइडेड बाय 15 इंटू 10. 5 2s are 10, 3s are 15, 3 8s are 24. कितना आ रहा है? 16. सो द टू रूट्स आर 1.5 एंड 16, है ना. तो मुझे m निकालना है ना, b निकालना है. a पता है, b पता है, तो सम ऑफ रूट्स क्या होंगे? सम ऑफ रूट्स हो जाएगा 17.5. बट सम ऑफ रूट्स इन जनरल क्या होता है? -b/a, मतलब -m/1. तो मतलब m कितना आया? -17.5. अरे कुशल, फिर से साइन में मिस्टेक कर दिया आपने. अगेन यू आर सेइंग 35/2. नॉट पॉजिटिव मैन, इट शुड बी नेगेटिव ऑफ 17.5. ओनली देन विल यू गेट द टू रूट्स एज पॉजिटिव. राइट, साइन में बड़ी गड़बड़ी कर रहे हो आप आज. बी केयरफुल मैन. सिटर वाले क्वेश्चन है, गलत नहीं करने. Yeah, I think you guys are following so far, है ना. अच्छा, by how much does the larger root of this equation exceed the smaller root? फिर वही हो गया ना, ये फिर वही हो गया. अल्फा माइनस बीटा निकालना है. निकालो जरा. You want to factorize and calculate? You want to do it directly? You want to factorize or do it directly? जो भी है जल्दी करके बताओ. Right? By the time your answer comes, I would already be solving. Trust me on that. रोकी यार, नाम तो तुम्हारा बिल्कुल लोकी जैसा है. Are you a fan of the Avengers franchise? Is that it? मतलब, or are you a fan of the Thor franchise? franchise तो नहीं बोलेंगे, but ठीक है, anyway, doesn't matter. Right, I'm getting impatient. I'm gonna do a minus b as a plus b whole square minus 4ab का square root. Right, a plus b कितना है? Sum of roots -5/2 here. Right, I'm gonna rewrite this as 2x square plus 5x minus 12 equals 0. Right, minus b/a will be -5/2. So square हो जाएगा 25/4 minus 4 into product of roots. Product of roots क्या होगा? c/a, that's -6. So -4 into -6 will be +24, है ना. तो ये कितना आ रहा है? रूट 96 प्लस 25 कितना आ रहा है? ये 121/4 मतलब 11/2. ऑप्शन ई, है ना. एक स्टेप में हो जाता है ये करना, जल्दी करना सीखना है आप लोगों को. या गाइस, जस्ट गिव मी अ थम्स अप ना. समझ में आ रहा है ना? ओके, अब थोड़ा सा बाउंसर लेवल क्वेश्चन करते हैं, चैलेंज क्वेश्चन है ये, right? All of you watching live, right? Here is a question which says x square plus kx plus 56 equal to 0, quadratic दिया हुआ है, एक coefficient unknown है. Question says it has two distinct integer roots. Distinct मतलब different. They are, these roots must be unequal, right? That's something I know. And also integers, है ना? दिमाग में integer दिमाग में आते, I hope समझ में आता है क्या है. तो दो इंटीजर ऐसे होने चाहिए जो इक्वल नहीं है. Those should make the roots, right? How many possible values can k take for that to be true, right? Challenge question. Anybody watching live, give me a shout if you're able to get the answer to this one. X square plus kx plus 56 equals 0 must have distinct, as in unequal, integer roots. How many possible values for k? Hint दूं? Hint चाहिए तो text करो. Drop a text in the chat if you want a hint. If you don't want a hint, go ahead and solve. है ना? मतलब बड़ा सा हिंट तो यही है कि इतनी देर से हम क्या यूज कर रहे थे, सम ऑफ रूट्स, प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स. यूज करो, यूज करके फिगर आउट करो इस क्वेश्चन को. इस क्वाड्रेटिक का के रूट्स अगर अल्फा और बीटा है, right? So what I know here is alpha plus beta should be minus k and alpha into beta should be 56, है ना? तो मुझे k निकालना है, मतलब अल्फा प्लस बीटा निकालना, मतलब सम ऑफ रूट्स निकालने हैं, ठीक है? और पता क्या है मुझे, अल्फा इंटू बीटा. दो इंटीजर अल्फा और बीटा ऐसे है whose product is 56, right? Now can I think of two integers whose product is 56? That's the approach for this question. Remember, linear हो या quadratic हो, whenever you get the constraint of integer values in the problem, थोड़ा सा hit and trial आ जाएगा, So here I'm thinking 1 and 56, maybe the other way around, 56 and 1, 2 and 28, and the other way around 28 and 2, right? 4 and 14, and the other way around 14 and 4. Similarly, 8 and 7, and the other way around 7 times 8, right? Okay. So alpha और beta के मैंने सारे possible values list out कर दिए हैं, right? Now here is where most of you will go wrong, right? Most of you watching live, right? I want you to pause the video here maybe and ask yourself, are there any more possibilities? If you answer yes, there are no more possibilities, we've exhausted all of them, then you're wrong. Why? Because alpha and beta will also have negative values, right? Possibly minus 1 and minus 56, minus 2 and, right? The other way around also, minus 56 and minus 1, right? Minus 2 and 28, minus 28, minus 28 and 2, right? Minus 4 into minus 14, minus 14 and 4. Can you see this? All these pairs can also take negative values, right? I need to check whether they give me different values of k or not. Okay, अब k निकालते हैं. अगर अल्फा पता है, बीटा पता है, तो अल्फा प्लस बीटा कितना होगा? अल्फा प्लस बीटा हो जाएगा 57. मतलब k क्या होगा? नेगेटिव ऑफ द सम ऑफ रूट्स, है ना? यहाँ पे देखो k क्या है? Alpha plus beta is minus k, which means k should be negative of alpha plus beta. So negative of 57, right? So I can add and put a minus sign. तो इन दोनों के केस में सम तो सेम ही आएगा, तो k का वैल्यू minus 57 होगा. इन दोनों का सम 30 है, k will be minus 30. इन दोनों का सम 18 है, k will be minus 18. इन दोनों का सम 15 है, k will be minus 15. I've counted 4 values, but then again these two values will have a sum of minus 57, so k should be negative of that will be plus 57. इन दोनों का सम minus 30 आएगा, तो k should be negative of that should be plus 30. इन दोनों का सम भी negative आएगा, k should be negative of that's plus 18, and finally plus 15. I hope all of this makes sense. How many values of k have I counted? That's 4 here and 4 there, which means total number of values possible would be 8. You know, if it was type in the answer, I need to type 8 in this problem. Right? A mistake, remember, that most people make, integer dekhte hain but negative nahi sochna. Right? That would be a trap. Right? So don't fall into that trap. Do tell yourself whenever integer values come, 2 things you should tell yourself. थोड़ा hit and trial करना पड़ेगा. दूसरा, पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव दोनों सोचना है. इनफैक्ट जीरो भी सोचना है. राइट, बट यहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट में जीरो नहीं डाल सकते हैं, सो वी डोंट नीड टू वरी अबाउट जीरो, बट पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव वाज इंपॉर्टेंट हियर फॉर दिस प्रॉब्लम. या आई होप यू गॉट दिस वन. ओके, हियर्स अनदर क्वेश्चन. उजाकर एंड केशव वर फेसिंग, राइट, व्हेन दे वर ट्राइंग टू सॉल्व दिस क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन, they made mistakes. Ujakar made a mistake in writing down the constant. Keshav made a mistake in writing down the coefficient of x. है ना, तो मतलब एक ने गलती करी. अगर मैं क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन मान लूं एज ax स्क्वायर प्लस bx प्लस c इक्वल 0, तो उजाकर ने गलती किसमें करी? He made a mistake in writing down c. तो उजाकर ने सॉल्व किया होगा ax स्क्वायर प्लस bx प्लस c डैश, है ना. उजाकर ने ये सॉल्व किया होगा. बट केशव ने क्या सॉल्व किया होगा? केशव ने कांस्टेंट और कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ एक्स गलत किया है. तो ax स्क्वायर प्लस b डैश x प्लस c किया होगा, है ना. उसने उसके बाकी दोनों कोएफिशिएंट सही होंगे, b डैश गलत होगा. राइट, व्हाट यू नो अबाउट उजाकर? आफ्टर सॉल्विंग ही गॉट द रूट्स एज 4/3. अच्छा, अगर रूट्स 4 और 3 है ना, तो कौन सा वाला सम और प्रोडक्ट, कौन सा वाला सही रहेगा? यहां पे देखो, सम ऑफ रूट्स इज माइनस b बाय a. राइट, b भी सही है, a भी सही है, तो मतलब सम ऑफ रूट्स तो सही आना चाहिए ना. तो सम ऑफ रूट्स क्या है यहाँ पे? 4 + 3 7. सो माइनस b बाय a शुड बी इक्वल टू 7, बट c बाय a विल बी इनकरेक्ट, है ना. अच्छा, तो एक्चुअल जो इक्वेशन बनाना है उसके भी रूट्स का सम यही होना चाहिए. राइट, माइनस प्लस 7. Oh God, sorry about that. पूरा मिट गया. फिर से कर लेता हूं. ax, so उजाकर basically got, उजाकर was solving ax square plus bx plus c dash equals 0, which means his sum of roots 4 plus 3 would be correct, minus b by a. Right. Keshav on the other hand was solving the equation with incorrect coefficient of x, b dash into x प्लस सी. तो केशव का सम ऑफ रूट्स तो गलत आएगा क्योंकि बी डैश गलत है, तो माइनस बी डैश बाय ए आएगा, तो गलत होगा. बट सी बाय ए तो करेक्ट होगा ना, क्योंकि ए और सी सही है. तो सी बाय ए इज द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स. इन दोनों रूट्स का प्रोडक्ट क्या है? 3 × 2 इज 6. सो सी बाय ए मस्ट बी इक्वल टू 6. सो व्हाट आई डू नो इज दैट द करेक्ट रूट्स विल बी ones where the sum of roots is minus 7, sorry, sum of roots is 7 and product of roots is 6, है ना. तो क्या इक्वेशन बनेगा? x स्क्वायर माइनस 7x प्लस 6 इक्वल 0, है ना. इसको तो फैक्टराइज भी कर सकते हैं, x माइनस 6 इंटू x माइनस 1, है ना. तो what will be the exact roots? Well, the root should be 6 and 1, है ना. काफी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड सा सोल्यूशन है, काफी सिंपल सा सोल्यूशन है, बिकॉज यू वर एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई विच ऑफ दोज रेशियोज वाज करेक्ट. राइट, वाज इट द सम विच वाज करेक्ट, वाज इट द प्रोडक्ट? सो जिसने सी में गलती करी उसका सम ऑफ रूट सही आया होगा, जिसने बी में गलती करी उसके प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट सही आए होंगे, है ना. सो दैट्स हाउ आई कैन सॉल्व इट. हियर्स अनदर वन ऑफ द सेम टाइप. राइट, रूट्स x1 and x2 फॉर दिस क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन आल्सो सैटिस्फाई. राइट, 7x2 माइनस 4x1 इक्वल टू, तो एक रूट्स के बीच में एक इक्वेशन दिया हुआ है 7x2 माइनस 4x1 इक्वल्स 47. एक और इक्वेशन बनाना है, यहां डायरेक्टली मिल जाएगा ना, b भी है a भी है. तो सम ऑफ रूट्स x1 प्लस x2 कितना होगा? माइनस b बाय a, दैट विल बी प्लस 2. तो इसको 7 से मल्टीप्लाई कर देते हैं. 7x1 प्लस 7x2, या इसको 4 से कर लेते हैं ना, 4x1 प्लस, अलग से कर लेता हूं, चलो, x1 प्लस x2 was 2, which means 4x1 plus 4x2 would be 8, right? Which means if you add 4x1 will cancel out, no? So you'll get 7x2 plus 4x2, 11x2 equals 47 plus 8, 55. So x2 will be 5. x2 अगर 5 है और sum of roots 2 है, तो x1 should be minus 3, है ना. 5 minus 3 would be 2, अच्छा, which of the following is true? Is C minus 15? अरे यार C क्या आएगा? अच्छा, प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स से आ जाएगा. प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स would be C by 1, right? But product of roots here is 5 into minus 3. That is indeed equal to minus 15, right? तो ये बिल्कुल सही है. तो ये दोनों गलत ही होंगे ना. -5 and 3 बिल्कुल गलत है. ये दोनों वैल्यूज भी गलत है. आंसर इज ऑप्शन ए. Okay, moving on. Positive value of m for which the roots are in the ratio 1:3. बताओ, roots का यहाँ ratio दिया हुआ है. That's something new. How do I work with that? How do I work with a problem which gives me the ratio of roots, not the sum, not the product, the ratio, है ना. मतलब alpha by beta दिया हुआ है 1/3, 1:3, 1x 3x 1a 3a भी ले सकता हूँ. Let's say the roots are a and 3a. क्यों यूजफुल है? अच्छा, सम ऑफ रूट्स क्या होगा फिर? 4a. और प्रोडक्ट क्या होगा? 3a स्क्वायर. यहां पे सम ऑफ रूट्स इज 4a. सम ऑफ रूट्स क्या होता है? -b/a. तो यहां आ जाएगा माइनस ऑफ 4 टाइम्स m minus 2. प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स क्या होगा? c/a. दैट विल बी 27/1. लो, इससे तो सॉल्व भी हो जाएगा. a निकल आएगा ना. I'll get a as a square as 9, which means a can be plus minus 3. The roots can be plus 3 or minus 3. Okay, which means m. So from here, if I substitute, I'll get the value of m, right? Let's work with that. 4a is equal to -4 into m minus 2. So 4 और 4 तो cancel out हो जाएगा. I'll get a as 2 minus m. Now since I already know a, I'll get m as 2 minus a. Which means when a is 3, it will be 2 minus 3 or 2 minus -3. The two values I'm getting are -1 or +5. So the question says the positive value of m is the one that it asks me to report. That's going to be option B. 5 would be the positive value of m that satisfies this condition. Yeah. Okay, here's another one. ये सारे क्वेश्चंस देखो सॉल्व करने या सम ऑफ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स के बेसिस पे होंगे. पी एंड क्यू आर द रूट्स ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर इक्वेशन. अगेन इक्वेशन इटसेल्फ कंटेन्स पी एंड क्यू. तो इसको थोड़ा सा रीराइट कर लेते हैं. एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस पी प्लस 1x प्लस पी क्यू इक्वल 0, राइट. तो अगर पी और क्यू रूट्स है तो यहाँ पे सम ऑफ रूट्स क्या होगा? सम ऑफ रूट्स इज माइनस बी अपॉन ए. सो दैट विल बी पी प्लस 1 एंड प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स इज पी क्यू. तो प्रोडक्ट से तो कुछ फायदा नहीं हुआ. वैसे ही पता है मुझे रूट्स पी और क्यू है, तो प्रोडक्ट ऑफ रूट्स तो पी और क्यू पी क्यू ही आना चाहिए. सो दिस इज नॉट वेरी यूजफुल. सो लेट्स वर्क विद दिस. द सम ऑफ रूट्स पी प्लस क्यू शुड बी इक्वल टू पी प्लस 1. ऑब्वियसली पी विल कैंसल आउट. आई गेट क्यू एज 1. व्हाट इज क्यू इक्वल टू? ऑप्शन बी 1. अगेन इफ यू आस्क मी, नो ब्रेनर ऑफ अ क्वेश्चन. इट माइट लुक हार्ड, नॉट रियली वेरी हार्ड. इट्स रियली अ 30 seconder in the exam, right? Just as the next set of questions are, right? An equation, we want to make equations, right? So if I want to make equation, I want sum of roots and product of roots, right? But what would the roots be? The roots need to be reciprocals of the roots of this equation. Let's say the roots of this equation are alpha and beta. So without solving it, I know alpha plus beta will be minus b by a, that's minus 7. Alpha into beta will be c by a, that's plus 5, right? और मुझे एक नया इक्वेशन बनाना है जिसके नए रूट्स क्या होंगे? नॉट अल्फा एंड बीटा. द न्यू रूट्स आर रेसिप्रोकल्स, व्हिच मींस इट विल बी 1 by अल्फा एंड 1 by बीटा. व्हिच मींस जो इक्वेशन बनाना है उसका सम ऑफ रूट्स चाहिए. मतलब मुझे 1 by अल्फा प्लस 1 by बीटा चाहिए. एलसीएम ले लो, अल्फा बीटा, you'll get alpha plus beta upon alpha beta, which means substituting values from there, -7 upon 5. This is S. Similarly, product is going to be 1 by alpha into 1 by beta, right? That's 1 upon alpha beta, that's 1 upon 5. So what will the equation be? X square minus S into X plus P equals 0, right? And you can then simplify this as 5x square plus 7x plus 1 equals 0, right? There you go. That's the required quadratic equation. Yeah, no brainer. Again, form an equation whose roots are reciprocals. We've already done this, right? If a and b are the roots of this quadratic equation, x square plus 7x minus 15 equals 0, right? How do I make a quadratic whose roots are a by b and b by a, right? Think about it. You want new roots as a by b and b by a. If a and b are the roots of this quadratic equation, what do I know? I know a plus b then should be the sum minus b by a here, so that should be minus 7, and ab will be c by a, that's minus 15. Okay, so if these are the roots, then sum will be a by b plus b by a. Right? Taking an LCM, a square plus b square upon ab. Right? Rewrite that by using an identity. This is a plus b whole square minus 2ab. And if I split the ab amongst these two terms, right, then this becomes a plus b whole square upon ab. Right? That's 49 upon minus 15 minus 2. Right? So 49 plus 30 is 79. So 79 upon minus 15, right? So minus 79 upon 15. Okay, and product of roots will be obviously a by b into b by a is 1. So what will the equation be? X square minus 79 by 15 into x plus product of roots 1 equals 0. So 15x square plus 79x plus 15 equals 0. That's the required quadratic. Yeah? बहुत ही सिंपल है. जहां पे क्वेश्चन में नजर आए सम ऑफ रूट्स पे हो सकता है इक्वेशन बनाना है. मेक श्योर दैट यू अटेम्प्ट दैट क्वेश्चन. मेक श्योर यू डोंट वेस्ट एनी मोर टाइम, राइट, बिकॉज इट्स अ सिटर ऑफ अ प्रॉब्लम, राइट. Okay, that brings me to the end of this very short session, very quick session, because like you see, I'm as excited. I think we solved almost 15 questions in under 30, just about 30 minutes or so. I hope this short session on quadratic, I'm sure you guys found it easy, but don't worry, we'll step it up in the next session. Join me tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. I'm going to discuss, problems involving, the nature of roots, and some other things that, graphical perspective for quadratic equations and much more. Do learn, do check out the Unacademy app. If you're a serious learner, then Unacademy gives you serious artillery to prepare, right? Special classes and, marathon sessions are some initiatives that Unacademy takes. Free of cost, most of these are. You can attend just by registering on the app. A beautiful new functionality called Ask a Doubt. Remember, there are no silly questions. So once you download the app, once you register, you can submit questions by simply taking a photograph and uploading it. Once if everything is in order, our educators will solve those questions and provide you solutions. So it's a beautiful feature which has gone live recently. Again, something for which you will need to register, right? Okay, do check out. When you register, do make sure that you use my referral code AV01, because that gives you a 10% discount. And do check out some of the other programs. If anybody in your known circles is preparing, here is other assistance they can get. And last thing, here are social media channels. This is our YouTube channel. If you're watching from some other YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe to this one. A lot of content will exclusively go live here. CAT4MBA channel, mirrored in the Telegram channel. This is my personal Telegram channel. I usually update my class schedules here, right? In case you want to learn from me, join me at 8 p.m. every single day in the evening if you are preparing for CAT 2021. If you are looking at exams this year, like SNAP, which is coming up next month, I also go live at 6 p.m. in the evening. So do check it out. We're going to do different topics through the day in Quant, right? I thank you guys. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you. Have a great day. And have a good night as well.